important reminder. All information and ideas are for informational purposes only and are in no way intended as medical advice or as a substitute for medical counseling. Earthshift Products, Dr. Robert Cassar, all of their partners, affiliates, and subsidiaries will not be held accountable for the use or misuse of the information presented therein. This information is not intended as medical advice. The authors, publishers, and speakers of this work are not medical doctors and do not recommend the use of mineral-deficient foods, drugs, or medicines to achieve beauty and to alleviate health challenges. Because there is always some risk involved, all persons involved with the development and distribution of this information are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences of any kind resulting from the use or misuse of any suggestions or procedures described on our website or Earthshift Live radio talk show or therein.
We are not here to struggle with things, but to wrestle with the gods, said Jacob Bonnie.
You may want to point out one thing. Go back to the one slide. You'll notice that the Mayan calendar has north, south, east, and west, and we're traveling through the south quadrant right now, of course, which is a 6,180-year cycle. Each corner of the north, south, east, and west is 6,140 years. And if you look at the past calendar, like you said, each 6,000, a new civilization is rebirthed, a new system. And every time we cross the galactic plane on the north and or south on its axis, we have this phenomenon happen. It's the 6,140 year, and we're right here, right now. It's the 6,180 years times 4 is 25,920 years. And so this is the special time now because it's the bottom south vector of the galactic Masonic radiation from the galactic center, which of course has like a circle down, like an 8. So that's the special point right now, like you were saying.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times, isn't it, mate? Basis here for parties is good times. Yeah. But you're either going up, you're either going through ascension and just getting lifted up by grace, or you're going down.
It's a good time because it's actually a time of collapsing time. That's what's happening.
Well, there's the Mayan perspective on things, and there's other models as well. And I look at a lot of other models, and I like to line models up and see where the golden threads that unify them are. And what we do know is that it is an amazing time to be alive. Yeah? Amazing time to be alive. And there's so much opportunity in these times. And so we need to live in wonder. Not in confusion and mentalization of stuff, but live in wonder. Be amazed. It's amazing grace. These are amazing times. Next slide, Bert. We are not here to struggle with things, but to wrestle with the gods. What's happened? What's happening? What's going on? What are we really dealing with in this mix? What are archetypes? What are these mythological gods that every single culture has all these stories of? These fallen angels, these divine beings, these extraordinary human beings. I'm really into mythology. The best definition I've ever heard of mythology that is something that never happened, but it always is. It's not a historical thing, it's a living experience that we're having, this dynamic confrontation between the forces of light and darkness, purity and goodness. And this egocentric fear, parasitic behaviour, you know? It's going on in every being, you know? And it's definitely going on in us. So we need to find this place of rest, this deep, deep, deep peace within us, and do everything in our lives to bring that about, in every facet of our lives, everywhere in our lives. Next one, bro. Ah, yes. Nature restores the inner nature. We know that so well, don't we? We love nature so much. Nature reflects your inner nature. If you love nature, you know, you love the trees, you love the birds, you love all that. I love nature so much. You reflect your inner nature, understand that. The wonders of nature reflect your inner nature. The infinite diversity, the pure wonder. Pure wonder. Next slide, please, mate. The nature does it. So if we're out of tune, then how do we get back in tune? If we are consciousness stuck in a matrix that you can quantify and mathematically, predict, but we know we're not that, and this is just a pattern that's occurred because of causal factors. How do we get ourselves unstuck? How do we come into this the possibility of living infinite possibility? How do we get unstuck? And when you look at the teachings and the messengers, and when you experience the getting unstuck through your own incension and coming into higher and higher levels of grace and more perfect levels of human being, when you know that that's a real motion, you know why. And one of the things is forgiveness. Compassion is the core of compassion, and it's the foundation of Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you. Thank you. You don't have to have any other attitude going in your brain box other than that. You don't have to think about things, mentalize about things, unless you really want to and you're into that. If it's like your dharma, so like I'm like a mad researcher and I just have to like research everything and look into everything and study all sorts of stuff and pull out all the goodies from everything and compile it and stuff. And probably some of you guys are in that way as well. But forgiveness gets you out of the matrix. It's the core of compassion. Ho'oponopono. So I'm going to invite you now to turn to someone next to you and just to look into their eyes. Just let's do that right now. Don't be shy, everything's beautiful. Look into their eyes, the person next to you or near you. Get that eye contact going. And just breathe in your heart for a start. Just breathe in your heart for a start. Breathe in there. And just silently, in your heart, silently, say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Silently in your heart while you're looking into those eyes. And just keep that eye contact. And just keep breathing and looking into that person. And imagine you might not know this person. This might be a bank teller. This might be someone just come around to give you a big income tax bill. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you, 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 thank you. I'm sorry for what? I'm sorry for judgment. For projecting any kind of judgment onto you and onto life. Because life's here in it as well. It's the ultimate attitude to function, go forward in life. Ho'oponopono. Restoration of righteousness. The restoration of the right vibration. The right useness of your will and your intention, your creative power. And it brings you into harmony. And that's where you get the grace. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Forgiveness. You don't get to square one without it. You don't get out of the cage. All you get is new toys in the cage. You might get your cage, new wallpaper on your cage. You might upgrade your diet in the cage that they're giving you, feeding through the little flaps in the cage, but you don't get out the cage. You don't get out the box. So forget it without forgiveness. Forgiveness is the solvent that dissolves the glue, that keeps you, the spirit of life, trapped in anything, any pattern that it is not. Anything unnatural, anything discordant. Keeps you identified with something that you are not. Forgiveness. Keep on it. Ho'oponopono. All the time, everywhere, all day, all night, forever and ever and ever. Until it doesn't change your state. I use it as a benchmark. I'm always playing that in me. And if it doesn't change my state, I know I'm in the right state. But if it's like a big shift or a significant shift, then what was I functioning in before? Some kind of discordant spinning thing, you know, with sharp edges and funny colours in it, not in harmony with the spirit of life. Next slide, please, brother.